Hello, good evening. I'm David Akinola, and tonight I want to talk about a little bit of my experience growing up. I want to talk about the time where my parents embarked on a business and went into the business because another person was successful in that business. So in life, you need to know certain businesses that you need to do, not based on someone else is doing it, then you just want to do it. Before you do anything in life, you need to know if that is what God has called you into. We did a business, it was a poultry farm. Then I remember I was in the secondary school then, and the whole family, my siblings, myself, and my late younger brother, before going to school, would wake up around some minute to 5, begin to pack the faces of the chickens, and we go to offload them in some bushes around then. When we are back with that, we start cleaning the drinking containers and feeding the birds. And that is when we go and dress up for school. This business was time demanding, time consuming, energy demanding, and it was a kind of a business that we didn't really have anything to show for it. Nothing was there to show for it. In fact, by the time we started having our birds laying eggs, I think then we had about 1,000 birds, laying birds, 800 laying birds, 200 cockerel. When our birds started laying eggs, and there was this pandemic then. There was the outbreak of there was the outbreak of bird flu. Don't eat chicken, don't eat eggs. Don't eat chicken, don't eat eggs. We were supposed to sell a crate of egg then for 300 naira. So we noticed the crate of eggs piled up in our rooms, in all the rooms in the sitting room. Nobody was coming forth to buy. Why? Because then if you eat egg and chicken, you would die. That was the news around. So the fear was there. People were scared of eating eggs and chicken. And what happened? We started hawking those eggs. Take the crates, go out in the evening, hawk the eggs. Sales was not coming. This was what led to the collapse of the business. We are taking some loans in the course of rearing the birds before they start laying eggs. And this time around, we discovered that there was no sales. We needed to keep feeding the birds. So we started borrowing loan for weeks. And this affected the business. We had lots of debts to pay. The family went through a whole lot, and the business collapsed. The individual that my parents looked at, a successful man doing the business in our church, then already knew how to maneuver his ways, because he was not just doing poultry, he was also doing feed mill. He already understood how to survive with 2, 3 businesses. But then we only had one business where we only looked at the poultry the man was doing, not looking at other businesses like the feed mill he was doing, and there was no business to fall back to. This affected the family that, in fact, my dad had to change our school, and it affected my late younger brother. It was when he was relocated from a private school to a public school that he was poisoned and he died. Why? Because we took a step, we went into a business we didn't really hear the voice of God to do. We went into a business that we didn't really ask God, because we felt someone was doing it and was successful in the business. It kind of affected. So, what is the point? The point is, before you embark on any journey, be sure that God is leading you. Be very, very sure that God is leading you. Do not look at a successful businessman and you have the mindset already that so far he's a successful businessman in that business, you can also do it and be successful. There are several factors that needs to be considered. One of the factor is the years of experience the other person has gathered in that business. If you want to copy someone doing a business, you need to look at the years of experience. Has this person been doing for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years? You can't really copy that. You can't really copy the experience. You can copy the packaging, the branding of the business, but the output is going to be different. Why? Because this person you are trying to emulate already knows the ups and downs of the business. And by this time, peradventure, this person already has leverage in that business. So, what are we taking home from today's short inspirational, motivational talk? It is that when we take steps, give yourself time to learn a trade before jumping into it. The mistake my dad made was that he ought to have embarked on at least 1 year feasibility study before going into the business fully. We could have just gotten like 100 beds, 200 beds, and use that as practical. Not just pumping the whole money we have then into buying about 1,000 day-old chicks and rearing them onto the point where we begin to see the birds laying eggs, or sell the cockerel and have money and profit. The mistake was that we started big. One other thing to take home is starting small is not a crime. Starting small is not a means of people saying you are lazy. It's not a means of people saying you are not making it in life. It is better to start small and grow big. But we decided to start big at once. We could have just tried starting small, have a visibility study of the business, and grow in the business, having gathered several experiences. I want to believe that you are blessed with today's short words of exhortation about my life experiences. It has to relate with business, and it has to relate with experiential knowledge. My name is David Akinola. I love you. God bless you. Shalom.